Yo, everyone. How are we in this darkness conditions that I have? Go here to our live video and oops, details. All right, we have gone live. Let's see now if anyone is available. For what reason? Hey, how's it going? I know you can't see me that well. This is just the lighting that I have, unfortunately. But yeah. All right, we have the two mega fans, Wandering Nomad and Anna. How's it going? Yeah, well, here we are. I wish there was a way to get better light, but there just isn't. You know? This is the best lighting that we can get. Okay, we got some people joining. But yeah, maybe if I turn off this, it will be better. What do you think? What works better? I don't know. I thought maybe without the background light, you know, maybe you see me better, but yeah, doesn't seem to be working. Or I have another. I increased the light on my computer, so now it's coming off me, you know? That's a little bit better. My computer screen is acting as a lighting setup. Yeah, I don't know. Whenever I'm indoors, like I am now, whenever I'm indoors, I start getting sneeze and whatever. It's like these rooms are not clean enough. Winter in Africa? What winter? No, I'm not cold. It's even hot for me right now. It's just that it's like, I don't know, it's pollen disease or something. It's makes me sneezy. Like, I'm not cold. I haven't caught a cold. But yeah, that's the deal, unfortunately. Anyway, yeah. Well, let's do a little poll to get this party started. Great Israel, man. Thank you. Alex, a question. Which is your favorite country in East Africa? All right. So we have, oh, thank you, Anna, for your contribution. Thank you so much. You know how much I appreciate your contribution. All right, I'm giving you 4 options of countries that are relevant to me, and you can choose. Hopefully, we'll get some more people to join, and we can talk about it a little bit. Maybe some of the people from, some of the Africans who've been watching some of this content that's been coming out recently, from my trip in Africa. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get like a really good audience for these videos because I didn't get so many views, and the viewers I got were mostly from Africa. So which is okay, but there's very little money in viewers from Africa. So like if the videos had caught on a bit with viewers from the US and things like that, would have been better. But yeah, Girma Girog Frederick says, you are very entertaining, man. You deserve more views. Thank you. Where are you from, Girma? I'm gonna get a fan, 1 second. Well, here is a fan. Will give me some air so I can breathe and yeah, and also make a lot of noise. You hear that? Yeah, maybe that wasn't such a good idea, but you know, that's what we need. It's because there is mold in the building. Try making some airflow. But it's a problem though, because when you have airflow, then all the mosquitoes come in, you know? And all the noise from outside comes in. So I'm opening my porch window here. And maybe that will help a little bit. We shall see. Yeah. Ethiopia, Girma. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the videos from Ethiopia. And yeah. Why the reason you avoided Somalia? I assume it's not safe. Yeah, I mean, Somalia is a challenging destination to go to, especially for me. It's not really on the traveler's route. Most people avoid it because of its condition. Obviously, that would make a very good vlogging destination. So yeah, I mean, I feel like you guys know that I got a bit tired from the danger places, so I needed a break from that. So yeah, I mean, there were a bunch of stuff that could have been interesting in that sense. Sudan, South Sudan, maybe, but it's very hard to get visas and places to stay. Somalia, Eritrea also is kind of like, I was just a bit of, all right, enough of all that. I'm going to go to the easier places to go to for now. You know, I think I've shown that I can go to tough places. I think I earned that badge of honor on YouTube as someone who doesn't just go to easy places. But you can't do that all day. Hi, sir. Love from India, says Anirudh. Thank you. Yeah. Are you able to travel to African destinations with an Israeli passport? Yeah, it's not a problem. And here, it's one of the safer places. The places I've been so far to just be from Israel. And that's nice. You know, it's nice when you can just say you're from Israel and there's no problem. And I like that, yeah. Safe travel. Love from Ethiopia. Thank you. I'm always amused. You go into places clueless about the danger you can run into? No, I don't think I'm clueless. Like, a lot of places I've been, I know that what the dangers are. I also know what the dangers aren't, you know? Like, a lot of people overestimate the danger. They think every person you meet in a place can potentially kill you or stab you, and it's not true, you know? Like, you can walk into a mosque in Kenya and say you're from Israel, probably, and like I did when I was in Mombasa, and it's probably okay. But yeah, you know, it's you learn as you travel, kind of, to have a sense of where things might be more problematic, where less. But I'm aware of the dangers. I'm not oblivious to the dangers. But I also try to show on the videos that, you know, it's not as dangerous as you might think it is, and it's possible. So yeah. All right, well, we need more people from this poll to take it seriously. We have a lot of thumbs up for Ethiopia here, you know. Is it expensive in Uganda? Yeah. It was. I mean, everything's relative, but I felt like Uganda was more expensive than Kenya or Ethiopia in some ways. You know, for example, I wanted to get a coffee. When I was in Uganda there, I wanted to get a cappuccino or a cafe latte, and every I couldn't find it for less than $3. I just couldn't. It was driving me crazy. You know, like, why? Why does a coffee cost $3 in this place in Africa? But it did. Ooh, look, the light is struggling. What's that? Is it possible there's too many electrical appliances that are connected here? If I turn off the fan, will that stop happening? Look at this. It's probably driving you crazy, this lighting, huh? What is that? Hey, stop! No, it's not listening to me. Yeah, well, Sweden, Anna. Yeah, it makes sense that things would be expensive in Sweden, not in Uganda. You know? Why are you surprised that Jewish community in Uganda has kids from other religions attending the Jewish school? It's super common in any other countries for any religion. I don't know if I was so surprised. I wanted to show it. But, yeah, I don't know. Is it that common that Jewish and Muslim kids just study together in the same school in 2025? How many places around the world does that happen? It happens in Western countries. where you have a lot of populations of all religions. Like it could happen in a certain school in the U.S. or Britain. Where else does it happen? It doesn't happen anywhere in the Middle East or North Africa. There are no Jews left. If you go to places like Morocco, then most of the Jews, they go to like these private schools. I don't know how many rural places you'll see just a bunch of Jews and Muslim teachers in Jewish schools. Like, how many places will you see that? I know what you're hinting at, as if, oh, other than Israel, everyone lives together peacefully, but that's not true. Drink hot tea with ginger, lemon, and honey for a cold or flu, brother. Yeah, perhaps. Damn, I should have bought some tea when I was at the some of these supermarkets. I was looking for coffee, like instant coffee. I couldn't find it, and they had tea, and I overlooked it. Someone asked, what was your favorite thing about Ethiopia, and which is your favorite country in Africa so far? No bias. Well, I don't... it's hard for me to say which my favorite country is. People always say this because I feel like every country kind of gives you something different. So I can't just say like, oh, this was my favorite. I felt like historically, which is kind of one of the things that really interests me, like culturally, historically, Ethiopia was the most interesting and unique. Kenya and Uganda, I felt like they had quite a bit of similarities, and they didn't have as much like kind of very unique characteristics that Ethiopia has. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Ethiopia was better than them, because Ethiopia has like some downsides as well. So I don't know, but Ethiopia was definitely very interesting for me. People are beginning to realize that the experience of what we humans call religion transcends human definition. Ethiopia, lost tribe of the Jews. Yeah, I mean, everyone, they keep doing this, right? They always say, like, we are the lost tribe of this, the lost tribe of that, right? The 12 tribes of Israel. And I had a discussion on one of my YouTube videos. Someone responded, which tribe do you belong to? And I said, look, we don't really have tribes, right? Most modern Jews descend from the tribe of Judah, because the other 10 tribes were wiped out by the Assyrians in 700 BC. So, all of ancient Israel after that, and then all the Jewish, like the Hasmoneans and the Maccabees and all those Jews that were in the Holy Land, were from the tribe of Judah. That's why it was called Judea, and Jews, the word Jews kind of comes from that also. So Yehudi is from Yehuda, right? Yehudi is from Yehuda in Hebrew. So I would say that everyone comes basically from the tribe of Judah, or maybe the tribe of Benjamin, which was together with the tribe of Judah. And then the same guy said, oh, but then how do you explain that you all look so different? Jews from here, from there, no. And I was like, okay, I mean, first of all, people intermarry when they get dispersed around the globe. And it's possible also that some Jews in certain places might be the descendant of converts, or from people who left before and mixed or something. Like the Ethiopian Jews, they go way, way back. So we don't know exactly what their origin is. But yeah, I mean, this every once in a while someone pops up and says, a group pops up and says, we are the tribe of Reuben, we are the tribe of Menashe, we are the tribe of this, one of those 10 tribes that disappeared from history. I mean, I personally don't really believe it. Ethiopia, lost tribe of the Jews. Yeah, so maybe Ethiopia might be, the story of the Queen of Sheba, and the Jews came over and this. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of legends swirling around there. Ark of Covenant thought to be hidden in Ethiopia. I made a whole video about that. What are downstairs of Ethiopia for you, bro? Downside. I come get Tel Aviv in March as an Irishman. Where should I go? Why don't you walk around and say, I'm from Ireland, and make a video about that. Irish person visits Israel. See the reactions. Nah, but most Israelis are not like that understand the international politics. Like, they don't most people are not enough aware of, for example, all the hostility that Israel is getting from Ireland right now to even be sort of aware of that. But yeah, where you should go to Tel Aviv, and you should go to Jerusalem and see all the holy sites, and Tel Aviv, see the beach, and nightlife and restaurants, things like that. If you got the money for it. It's expensive over there. Would you consider doing street interviews with Eritreans and Ethiopians in Uganda? I'm not such a big fan of interviewing like people in another country kind of theme, right? I mean, there was the one I did the collaboration with in Kenya. I did like interview, like did a bunch of stuff about like Ethiopians living in Kenya. It's like I did Ethiopia, right? So now I'm doing Kenya. So I don't want to start into or Uganda, right? I don't want to start interviewing other peoples in Uganda. Uh, I don't know. That's me personally. Are you going to marry African or Latina? Anything's possible. Hey, bro, none of that, bro. I'm from South Africa. I would not if I was you. Not what? My pattern recognition is so outwardly. I see Jews on the wall. Okay. What does that mean? Where are you streaming from? Well, because this live stream is small, I can basically give away that I'm in Rwanda now. I usually don't give away my location, but this time around it's like whatever. But I'm not going to be here that long probably because I crossed over from Uganda to Rwanda. And I'm just kind of getting my bearings here a little bit, so I didn't film anything yet. So yeah. Rwanda, yeah. Where were you streaming from? I just joined your live. Yeah. Oh, really? That's amazing, man. I am watching from Ireland. What's amazing? Oh, what I told you about Israel or something? About you as an Irishman going to Israel? Uh, would an Irish guy face hostility in Israel? I feel not, but I know the tensions. Yeah, but like I said, like most people, I think are not aware enough of that dynamic of like Ireland, Israel. And I mean, and again, like Israel is, I think, pretty tolerant. You can come from anywhere in the world in Israel, and people will be nice to you, I believe. From what I've seen. I brought my friend from Egypt, and people receive him very well. So why shouldn't they receive you well from Ireland? If you come respectfully, right? If you come and you start screaming "Free Palestine" at everyone, then maybe they won't be so nice. But as long as you come to meet and see and be respectful, and I don't see any problem. Have you seen Hugh Janus podcast on the subject? I don't know who Hugh Janus is. I've been to Zimbabwe once in the 90s. Africa has some pretty decent countries, and Namibia is great as well. Yeah, okay, we have a Free Palestine spammer. If you write any more Free Palestine stuff, I'm going to kick you out. I don't have patience for that crap. Yeah. So yeah, everyone, you can all visit Israel, and you shouldn't have a problem, in my opinion. That's something that's reserved for Israelis, where you travel places, and you say you're from Israel, and immediately people start getting aggressive and attacking you. It doesn't happen to almost anyone else, right? Like you can be from Russia or from China or from Iran or from Palestine, right? Like a Palestinian, and go around the world and say where you're from, and nobody starts aggressively assaulting you and cursing you and attacking you and asking you political questions immediately. That only happens to Israelis, from my experience. So if you're from anywhere, whatever problems Israel might have with you, potentially, you can come to Israel, and that's fine. Like, you say where you're from, people don't immediately start attacking you. So it's okay. You can come and visit. Maybe it's time to consider having a moderator on your live streams. No, I have a moderator. I have Anna, and I've had other people as well. So if someone starts spamming, then we kick him out. And spamming doesn't mean asking difficult questions or being supporting the Palestinians. It means, just typing "Free Palestine" all day. That's spamming. If you want to ask me a question about the situation, you want to ask me like an intelligent question with a good, where you actually want to hear the answer, then that's fine. So that's why. Right now, this chat isn't so big, so like a moderator isn't that necessary. I've had chats where we've had hundreds of people in the chat, so then it starts to get out of hand. What do you think of Trump's latest announcements about Riviera idea? Yeah, I mean, well, basically, there's kind of like 4 options in Gaza now. One is to hand Gaza back to Hamas and then rebuild it, which is kind of what the international community is expecting Israel to do. And I don't see why they're doing that. Like, what do they expect? That Hamas is going to rebuild Gaza and then build schools and hospitals. Why would they do that? They'll do the exact same thing. As soon as they rebuild enough, they'll attack Israel again. So that's just a recipe for disaster. So of course, if you compare that to the second option, which is helping people relocate, then the second option has more potential. But there's two other options, right? Which is one is to hand it back to Hamas. Another is to for Israel to like go in there and occupy it, quote, right? And then there's another option, which is that some other type of leadership emerges in Gaza that's more serious about living next to Israel, and then you rebuild Gaza. That would be my preferred option, right? But it's not a realistic one because there is no such group or entity, you know. So those are my thoughts. Like, am I do I think it's a great thing, fair and just, and the perfect solution to have a bunch of people in Gaza start moving other places? No, it's not. But to just like rebuild Gaza under Hamas is even worse, in my opinion. Hi, I love your content. I enjoyed so much. Thank you. 30K in some streams, says Anna. Yeah, but those were like, a lot of those were bots. Like, I had streams with 20K where I'm sure some of the people were bots. A lot of them. You know? So, yeah. Someone asked where I am right now. I said I'm in Rwanda. I usually don't give away my location, but I said it here several times, so there's no need to keep asking. Jew, someone says. Okay, fine. I don't think they'll be able to survive in Africa because they live in better conditions. Yeah, no, they're not going to Africa. But yeah, of course, like the Palestinian conditions in West Bank and even in Gaza is like much better than most places I've traveled to, right? That's why I never, like, I don't understand this BS of, oh, their conditions are so terrible, they have no choice but to, I don't know, blow Israelis up. I think that's complete nonsense. Like, their conditions are much better than, you know, here in Africa or in the Indonesia or Philippines or parts of South America. They have, like, pretty decent conditions, the Palestinians. It's ideological. Trump threatening to cut aid for Egypt and Jordan for not accepting Palestinian refugees is an absurd, it's a strategic challenge, particularly Egypt. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's really threatened to cut aid yet. It's been talked about. He's trying to play it as if at the moment, I mean, he had a press conference with King Abdallah where he said, you know, I think threats is beneath me. This isn't about threatening, it's about reaching an agreement. But of course, like, the subtext always is, well, yeah, you know, they talk a lot about the aid to Israel, which is conditioned on buying U.S. weapons. So its money goes back into the U.S. But they also send like $1.5 billion to Egypt, which is important to Egypt. They send like $1 billion to Jordan, you know. So they're also on the U.S. aid dole. So of course there's always the threat that he could just withdraw it if they don't do what he wants, you know. Would you say Africa is safe for Israeli Jews? Yeah, I think it's pretty safe, you know. Like, again, some places are less safe, like Somalia, Mali, where you have Al Qaeda in Mali. Maybe Mauritania, some places in Northern Africa, like you said, obviously Algeria, Libya are not safe. Egypt is not safe. But you know, all this areas that I've been in East Africa, Uganda, Kenya, Ethiopia, I would say is quite safe for Israelis, you know. And also not even that dangerous generally. Like, we have a perception that Africa is super dangerous, but as long as you follow decent protocol, I don't think it's really dangerous here. You know, like, a woman could travel by herself in Kenya very easily, I think, if she chose. I mean, obviously walking down a dark alley in Nairobi would be stupid, but like, you can be by yourself in Kenya or Ethiopia or Uganda even. It's really not that big a deal as long as you're just smart. You stick to public places. You don't do anything stupid. You know. It's perfectly possible and safe. Are you renting Airbnb? No, but I have like it's on booking.com, a place. By the way, in Rwanda, I encountered the biggest booking.com scam I've ever seen in my life. I've been in so many countries. I've used booking so many times. I never had this here where I book a place. I literally get the confirmation. You booked for this price. And then half an hour later, when I'm already arriving at the place, I receive a new message from Booking, all of a sudden hiking the price, like substantially, right? Hiking the price by 30-40%, you know? So I booked a place for 3 nights for like $30-something. It was like $12 a night. And then all of a sudden, you know, half an hour later when I'm already arriving with the motorbike, so it's too late, all of a sudden I receive a message from Booking, your new price is $55 instead of $35. I'm like, what? But I booked it. Like, I received the confirmation. I booked it. And you said this is the... Oh. Okay, now. Now you hear me? Okay. No sound. Now? Is there sound now? Yeah, there's sound, right? Yeah, so what I was saying was that I got the booking.com scam here in Rwanda is crazy. That you book a price, you have a certain price, and half an hour later you receive a message from booking hiking the price by like 30-40%. And when you go to the actual place, they hike the price again. So I booked a place for 3 nights for $35. And then I received a message from booking half an hour later when I'm already there after I took a motorbike there. So I already paid transport. I already used up my time to get there, saying the price is $55. And then the person at the counter says, oh no, that's too cheap. That's not our price. Our price is $75 for 3 nights, $25 a night. I'm like, F you, what is this? You can't do that. You can't I can't book a thing and receive a confirmation mail saying this is the price. And then you you change it after I've booked. And not like 1 minute after, like half an hour after I've already arrived. What is this? Never seen this before. So yeah, like that initial thing here in Rwanda like really pissed me off. I'm like, what is this? Just tell me the price is $25 a night and fine, I won't book you. And I can't afford $25 a night. Well, don't hike the price after. Anyway, that really annoyed me. So yeah. What else have we said here? No sound, no sound. Okay, we got over that. Fixed. Report the property to booking customer service, bro. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, I want to do that, yeah, but it's kind of whatever. It's wasting my time. I don't care. Just give me the accommodation. Yeah, so that was something. But for example, in Uganda, I was able to find a bunch of places for less than $10 a night that were satisfactory, like my own room and everything, even with the Wi-Fi, and it was okay. Greedy fellas. Can I trust booking.com when I go to Tel Aviv? Probably, yeah. I never had that issue. Like, I've used booking in so many countries, like, and not always developed countries, like places like Indonesia, places like Egypt, places like, wherever and ever, and never had something like that where the price jumped like that after I booked. Never had that. Only in Rwanda. Okay, how are small local remote villages? Are they connected to the internet and use cell phones, crypto? Just wondering. Yeah, so some do, some don't. The Uganda village where I was, where, I filmed the Jewish community, they didn't have internet over there, for example. Some people, though, had on their phones a limited amount of data. When I was in the village in Kenya, if you remember those videos, which did really poorly from my perspective, the YouTubers village and everything, then they had internet. So the guy who was hosting me, he had Wi-Fi in his little apartment, and they have on their phones usually. On the other hand, they didn't have proper sewage, Their toilets were terrible. So you're trading one thing for another. Yeah. In Ethiopia, yeah, also when I went to like some rural places, they obviously didn't have Wi-Fi, but the data was on my phone. The connection was good enough where I still had internet. Rwanda might be money hungry at the moment. Another person complained about flying with Rwanda. I don't know about flying because I haven't flown any of their airlines. But yeah. Are there power outages in Rwanda? I haven't seen. Before the light was flickering, but I've only been here a couple days, so I can't really say much yet. All I can say is Kigali is really nice. Like, it's very developed. It's more developed than any of the other 3 capitals I've been. And that's what I heard also before, that Rwanda is like very developed compared to the others. So that's a very good thing to say. And the other experience I had was with the booking scam. So those are the 2 things I could say so far. Why are you not making wildlife-related content in Africa? Because I feel like it's not really what my content is about, Like, I thought about I was planning on doing a video called The Cheapest Safari in Kenya, where I was going to do the park that's outside Nairobi. But then, it was full that day and this. I didn't end up doing it. Did you go to Sudan? No. Safe travels, buddy, says Emery. Thank you. Herman wrote it. Will you meet up with him? I don't know. I could. Why and how did you choose your travel destinations in Africa? So basically, Africa, what happened with Africa was I wanted to go to Saudi Arabia. I was very confident that my videos in Saudi Arabia would really blow up my channel because it was like perfectly sitting on the arc of everything that I'd done on my channel. And it didn't happen. I talked about this before in live streams, how disappointed I was in my performance of my videos in Saudi Arabia. I mean, they did okay, but that video, the Israeli and Saudi Arabia video, that video deserves 1 million views like my Egypt video, and it just didn't get it. I probably didn't take enough risks also, like exposing that I'm Israeli to enough people and stuff. That would have helped, but still, like, I was disappointed in the Saudi performance. Love the Saudi Arabia videos. Yeah, they were great. And then I knew that after I'm going to Saudi Arabia, I really wanted to go to Ethiopia, and because of the Jewish connection as well. And the flights from Saudi Arabia to Ethiopia are super cheap. They're like $100. So I was like, this is a great opportunity. So I told myself, after I go to Saudi, I'm going to go to Ethiopia, and then we'll see. There was a chance I was going to fly back from Ethiopia. And then I decided to try Africa and see how I do. Part of it also was because I talked with Coco Girl, my friend, the Israeli YouTuber. Some of you know her. She told me, like, Africa's a really good destination. You'll get a lot of views. You can make a lot of money. Like, it'll be really good for your YouTube channel. None of that panned out. I didn't get a lot of views. I didn't make a lot of money, which is basically the story of my channel for a while now. So, yeah, that's it. But also I got tired. Like, I've been on the road now for almost 4 months. So I'm going to be heading back to Israel soonish. Yeah. Is your nose staffed? Yeah. It is. I know it's probably annoying to listen to me. Tell about Palestine people now, Gaza situation. What can I say? We've churned this over so many times, haven't we? The whole Israeli-Palestinian thing. What can I say? Look, there's a ceasefire. Now Hamas isn't releasing the hostages. So maybe the ceasefire will end. And then, who knows what will happen. Under the Trump era also, like, the dynamics could be different. He might be applying certain pressures on Jordan and Egypt. Taking people. Maybe when people start to want to leave Gaza, that could change the dynamic. I don't know. So we're in for some changes. Make a Shuk HaKarmel walkthrough. Views will go back up. I've done tons of market videos in Israel. Actually, Shuk HaKarmel I didn't do, even though I find it boring. It's been done so many times. I did do Tikva market in the outskirts of Tel Aviv. I did Machane Yehuda market in Jerusalem. Yeah, I can also do Carmel market. Whatever, like, You deserve much more views, says Ophel Yerushalmi. Thank you. You ever visit the Jewish Igbos in Nigeria? I think that's the thing. No, I haven't visited. But, visa to Nigeria costs $300, and a flight to Nigeria is like $400 each way. So, you want to fund it for me? I'll go. Otherwise, I'll need to make 250,000 views to recover that, which, the way my channel looks right now, is never going to happen. Are you a soccer fan? Yeah, I love soccer. I'm not like a big a fan of teams. Like, I'm not. Some people, they're crazy about their team, whether in the Premier League or the La Liga or whatever. I just love the sport. I'll watch. Of course, I get the thing that really gets me excited is World Cup and Euros and stuff like that. I don't follow domestic as much, but I'll watch a good game. So yeah, I like football like any other lad. Yeah. You're still new, you'll get the views. No, I'm not that new. That's the problem. My channel is closing in on 2 years old now. And it's not really taking off. I've seen plenty of channels after 1 year are very stable financially and doing great. Mine isn't. I don't see any real indicators that the corner is going to be turned soon. So I don't think 2 years, and especially considering how many locations I've been and the type of content I've made, and that I've been doing it full time, I don't think this is a new channel anymore. I don't think we can say, well, it's new, we have to keep going, kind of, like something has to change. All right, so Mohamed Salah plays at Liverpool. Omar Marmoush joined Manchester. Yeah, I heard about Omar Marmoush. He's Egyptian. Two Egyptian players at great Premier League clubs, which boosts Egypt's chance to win the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations. Yeah, I mean, Egypt, it's funny because they've won a lot of Cup of Nations, and there have been years where they won the Africa Cup of Nations which is obviously quite competitive when you have strong teams like Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Morocco now. Tunisia is not bad. So Egypt won that many times, but then they don't qualify for World Cup, you know? That's a strange one. You know, then they qualified. I remember, for example, in 2018, they qualified. But like many times, Egypt don't qualify. For some reason, they perform very well in the Africa Cup of Nations. And they have a pretty strong team, Egypt, football team. But then they don't do well in the World Cup qualifiers and stuff like that. Have you tried South Africa? No. Yeah. I mean, South Africa... Like I said, I mean, yeah, obviously there's a gazillion things I can do in Africa. My plan right now, though, is after I do a few more videos that I have planned here and some other places, I'll go back to Israel. So the Africa tour will end for now. It is exhausting being in Africa months on end. You know, it's like not easy because you stick out a lot as a Mzungu, like as a white guy, you stick out. And it's kind of tough. Like you get harassed a lot on the street and people are asking for money and stuff. And you know, it's not so easy. Like in other places, I didn't stick out nearly as much, right? Like even in Saudi Arabia, Egypt, South America, like I don't stick out like I do here, so it's more difficult. What else are people saying here? Your channel is new. I found you a few months ago. Thank you. No, the channel isn't new. I mean, the fact that you found me a few months ago just means you were exposed to it a few months ago. Like I said, the channel's around 2 years old, so it's not that new. I mean, I kind of like was spoiled because I didn't make that many videos. I was making one video a week, sometimes one video every 2 weeks. So I wasn't, like I could have pumped out a lot more videos, but maybe that was part of my success, is that I was only making videos about good subjects. The videos were like good and, you know, the algorithm wasn't, like I wasn't trying to pump out too many videos. Maybe that's what worked. Now I'm pumping out a ton of videos. I'm making a video every 3 days. It's not helping me though. Tap water not safe in Africa. Yeah, I know. Have you ever been to China? No. That would be a good location. One tip about video content, the ones you expect to do well sometimes doesn't. The unexpected ones might surprise you. Keep trying new things with the same vertical. Study the data. Yeah, I know. I mean, you obviously have to always like push and keep trying and, you know. But I think like when I go back to Israel, I'm going to rest up there a bit. And I'm probably going to do some other work just to stabilize financially and like try to keep making videos in Israel and some other places. Like I don't think I'm going to be traveling full time for a while now. You know, it doesn't mean that the vlog's going to end. We're still going to be making amazing videos, obviously, but maybe the frequency will go down. Yeah. Make a breakfast buffet video in Africa, yeah. Your videos are sick, it does not matter. Thanks. Do US Jews hate Indonesia? Because I want to go to Jerusalem, I didn't even dare to go there. Why not? You can go. There are groups of Indonesians who go to Jerusalem. I met them when I was... That's how I got in contact with some of those Indonesians when I went to Indonesia, because there was a group of like 30 Indonesians with a guide, an Israeli guide who speaks Indonesian. They were Christians, right? That's why they came. I mean, you can come if you're a Muslim also, if you get a visa. Nobody will mind. But they came. The reason they came was because they were Christian. They didn't have any problem. Did you see any Armenians in Ethiopia, in Addis? Supposedly there's a community there from the 1900s after the Armenian genocide. I didn't know that. I didn't see any Armenians in Addis Ababa, but if you say they're there, I believe you. I'm a fellow Russian Israeli living abroad, wishing you a lot of luck in all you do. Well, I'm not a Russian Israeli, so, but yeah, even though I have some great grandparents from Belarus and from Russia, but like a Russian Israeli would be someone who came like now from the Soviet Union in the 90s to Russia. Not me. I'm just like another Ashkenazi Jew, whatever. Muhammad says, Israel plays in Europe, which is competitive, and it's funny because it didn't qualify for the World Cup to start playing in Europe for years. Its chances of qualifying for the World Cup should be higher. Yeah, I mean, the reason Israel plays in Europe is because of the boycott, right? So there was a time where Israel was supposed to play in Asia. There was the Asian Cup also, which they won, which was boycotted by the Arab countries. This was like back in the 60s. So the only participants were Hong Kong, India, and I don't remember who else. And yeah, like Israel plays, the reason why Israel plays in Europe is because Egypt, Jordan, all these countries refuse to play with Israel. So Israel's, yeah, that definitely like hurts Israel's qualification chances. Like the fact that the reason Saudi Arabia, for example, qualified all those years is because they're playing in Asia. They were like historically one of the weaker teams in the World Cup. Not this last World Cup where they beat Argentina, you know. But there were all those years where Saudi made it in because they were in the Asian group. So you know they're the stronger in Asia. But if they were qualified in Europe, they wouldn't qualify, for example. So yeah, Trump will inaugurate Amman Jerusalem AC bus. Well, maybe. What do you think of the synagogues in Egypt? There's a lot of synagogues in Egypt. I went to a couple of them in my videos, right? I went to the Maimonides one in Coptic Cairo, and what was the name of that place? Oh my God, I forgot the name of the neighborhood. The name of the neighborhood where all those Coptic churches are. It's got a Muhammad. You should help me here. You know the name. I forgot. It's slipped my mind. It's like at the beginning of my Egypt video where I went there. So I went to that one. And I also went to that synagogue in the market, in the middle of the huge market in Cairo that I showed. And I also went to like another synagogue that was a scene that didn't make it into the main video, but it's on my Patreon if anyone wants to see it. And I saw some other ones as well. Like I saw some other synagogues when I was in Cairo, but they're all empty because there are no Jews there, you know? So it's kind of like... yeah, it's like on the one hand it's nice to see the synagogues and to see like, oh, here's the Egyptian heritage, the Jewish Egyptian heritage, but on the other hand there's no Jews left, so it's kind of like bittersweet. Yeah, I think filming some attractions in Japan, Korea, China. Yeah, look, what's cool is that my channel now, because I've been to so many places, and also, like, after I left a bit the topic of the Israel stuff and everything, it's kind of, I have a certain amount of, like, universal appeal to my channel. So I'm kind of at the point where I can go anywhere, potentially, and kind of rack up some success, but not enough, you know? So, yeah, like, I could go to, now to China, Japan. Like, if I went earlier on in my channel to China, Japan, I don't think I would get any views. But now I might get, yeah. Aaron sent a contribution. Thank you, Aaron24. Okay, the second one you're talking about is Islamic Cairo near Khan el-Khalili and Al-Muiz market. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The Khan el-Khalili is the big market, right? And there's that synagogue that's in the middle of the market that I showed. So there's that one. But before that, there's that area that's called Coptic Cairo where you have all of those Coptic churches. The one that I went at the beginning in the video, right? I went to Al Sadat station and I took the metro and arrived in that place, you know? So yeah, I forgot the name of it, but that's where you have like a lot of really cool Coptic churches in Cairo, and the synagogue, the famous synagogue where they found the Genizah, right? The Genizah is because you're not in Judaism supposed to you're not supposed to dispose of certain like religious documents. You store them in the Genizah. So in this synagogue, like in the 1800s or something, they discovered the Genizah. There were like hundreds of years of documents in the Genizah. That was crazy. That they enabled them to discover so many things about Egypt. You know, Jews in Egypt, Muslims in Egypt, like a bunch of stuff. It was like incredible, like historical significance. The Genizah in that synagogue. I forgot also the name of the synagogue. Damn, I forgot. Look, I've been through so much in the last 2 years. This was already almost 2 years ago. I've already forgotten like some of the details. I have to watch my own video to remind myself again. You know, do you love Islam? Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with Islam. I think I showed in my videos. I went to so many mosques and met so many Muslims. So I mean, Islam, as long as of course it depends, individual people and so forth, what their you know, or groups, how they use the religion, right? You can use the religion for good or bad, of course. Did you try the newest number 3 of the Cairo Metro, Adli Mansour Cairo University? Yeah, I don't remember, right? This is my problem. I think I only took the Metro though once. I took the Metro when I went to like at the beginning of the video. I think afterwards I didn't use the Metro. I only used the Uber because Uber was super cheap. So yeah, but. Look, the Cairo Metro is not bad. I mean, it's a bit run down and stuff, but it's a metro, you know? Like in Tel Aviv, we don't have a proper... Well, now we have the light rail, but it's not real. Yeah, I guess you can call that a metro. But, you know, like they have a metro, and Cairo is a big city, and it gets you around. So it's definitely something you can explore. The problem with the Cairo Metro, though, is you're not supposed to film in the Cairo Metro, right? I had a camera there, and the guard started shouting at me, so I had to shut it down. I mean, I showed some parts because I was still able to film clandestinely, but yeah. Would you want to travel to USA? I think would be interested to visit different communities and talk to people. Yeah, I mean, US is not a bad destination. There's a lot of things you can see there. Problem is that's like very far from Israel, right? So it's a commitment to go all the way over there. Not to mention like the cost of flights and things like that. But maybe I'll do a US series, especially my brother is probably going to go work there for a while, so I can go visit him and do a series. So that'd be cool. You're the best and inspiration to me. Thank you, Anna. I see. Anna's contributing. Thank you very much. Go to Syria. No, too dangerous to Syria for me. Are you playing Jamaican music? It's coming from outside, not from me. So Muhammad, I'm still asking you to remind me the name of that neighborhood. The neighborhood where they have the Coptic churches and that synagogue. What's it called? It's driving me crazy. I can't remember the name. One second. Give me 15 seconds and I'll remember. Let me go into the vaults. Yeah, because I went in the beginning of the video and then I met that guy and I asked him. It was called... I forgot. Okay, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna go in the internet and see if I remember. So, whatever. No, I'm not gonna find it here online right now. Anyway, yeah, so suggestions here. People are saying go to the US. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's not a bad suggestion. American Jews in the Bible Belt, Anna's been saying for a long time because it fits like my channel. Come to US to Dearborn, large Islamic community, and get thoughts on the conflict. The video would blow up, yeah. Yeah, look, there's always these like very kind of cheap shot things you can do about the conflict that will get a lot of views. I mean, I'm trying not to like stoop to kind of low clickbait conflict stuff, just because I don't want my channel to be about that. I'm not sure also how much it does for the long-term health of the channel. So, yeah, I mean, but yeah, definitely like whenever you do all this like Israel-Palestine stuff, then you get views and everything, but you also just like you attract a lot of hatred. You attract a lot of like people who don't care about your channel or you. They just get sucked in because they click on anything to do with Israel-Palestine. So it's like, you know, so there's like a danger in going to a place like Dearborn and doing the Israel-Palestine thing there, as far as, you know, for my channel in general, what I want to do with the channel. In Indonesia, there's a synagogue. Yeah, in Manado, I know. But the problem is the synagogue in Indonesia is in Sulawesi, which is an island, right? But the flight to Sulawesi costs like $250 each way, you know, from Jakarta. So it's not an easy place to go to. Like people said, oh, you're in Indonesia, why didn't you go to the synagogue? Because it would be like literally flying to a new country. That's how big Indonesia is. You have to, and because it's islands, so sometimes like you're in the same country, and to go to another place is far more difficult than going, you know. It's kind of like being in New York and like, oh, you're in the US, why don't you go to LA? Because you have to fly for 5 hours and it will cost you I don't know how much to get there. Like, it's not that simple. So yeah. Yeah, we Ethiopians believe the Ark of the Covenant is in Ethiopia. How do you think about it? Well, I made a whole video about that, right? I went to Aksum and I visited the Ark of the Covenant story. We don't know because we don't have access to the church, right? Not the church, sorry, the synagogue and where they say the Ark is. But yeah, I don't know, like, if we could see what's inside, we know better. But as long as they're keeping it secret, we don't know. Stop the cap says 500, 700 fight, you see? Yeah, are you talking about Ben Ezra Synagogue? Yeah. Ben Ezra Synagogue. That's the synagogue where Maimonides used to go. The famous Maimonides, right? Rambam, as we say in Hebrew. Rabbi Moshe ben Mimon. Because he lived in Egypt. He wasn't from Egypt. He was from Andalusia, right? Or he was from Spain. And then he migrated there. And then, like they say, he was the physician of Salahuddin, like of Saladin. and the Cairo and all that. I also think you should do something about Ashkenazi Jews in Europe, Balkan, Sweden. Well, the Europe is going to be easy because when I'm in Israel, I can always fly to Europe for a couple days and come back because the flights are pretty cheap. Hopefully now they'll go back to being cheap, like if the war is not ongoing and stuff. So I can always, like, I'm not worried. People keep saying, oh, go to Bosnia, go to Serbia, go to Poland, and I'm like, those are places I'm not worried about. Like, I'm going to end up in those places because even if I'm working in Israel and stuff, I can still fly there. It's not a problem. Like, to do a whole U.S. trip, for example, that's more complicated. That's a commitment. That's like, should be at least 1 month commitment to do that. Not to mention a lot of money. So that's a different story. Fustat, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's the name I was looking for, Muhammad. Fustat. That's exactly that. Fustat. Now I remember. Because in the beginning of my video, my Egypt video, which is approaching 1 million views now, by the way, guys. It's at like 980,000 now. In the beginning of that video, I say I want to go to Fustat. That was the thing, and I just forgot the name. Fustat, yeah. Israel visa costs 50 for Indians. Poor Indians need a visa to go everywhere. I don't envy you. Yeah, that's difficult. Like, there's just Indians, like, everywhere you want to go, you have to pay for the visa. It's not fun. Anyway, our poll is picking up a little bit. What is your favorite country in East Africa? 60% say Ethiopia, 25% Kenya, 8% Uganda, 7% Rwanda. Wow, so like Ethiopia is winning here. I wonder how many people here in the chat are Ethiopian. But yeah. I can help you in Serbia with interpretations and if you want to do a Roma slum. Yeah, a Roma slum could be good. Rome would be really interesting. It's only a couple hours away. Ephraim, I did do a video in Rome. It was about a year ago. It's about the Jewish quarter in Rome. So, I mean, obviously there are other things I can do in Rome, but you can check out that video. Uganda, because I'm in Uganda, yeah. Yeah, not Rome, Gypsy. Yeah, I know, Roma is Gypsy, but this guy said about Rome specifically. I'll be in Jerusalem in May. Love Israel, it's my favorite country. Yeah, no, because Ephraim, the video doesn't have any flag and it doesn't say Italy, so it's confusing. It's called, because back then I was like trying to circle my whole channel around Jewish stuff and Israel stuff because that was what was getting me views. So it's called the Jewish ghetto where it all started. There's like a big yellow star, like the Holocaust ghetto star on the thumbnail. So you go back, it's like, it's the first video I made after my Israel series, my first Israel series. So after I came back from Egypt and then South America, I did a whole series in Israel, right? That's where I did my video about the ultra-Orthodox and where I went to the Gaza border and Jaffa. I made a bunch of videos, right? The video I made with Mahmoud, the Egyptian. So after I left, the first video after that series was in Rome. I visited Ethiopia and Djibouti a long time ago. Oh, wow, Djibouti? I thought Djibouti is off limits for Israelis. Did you ever visit India? Yeah, I've been in India in 2018, but that was before I was a vlogger. I'll watch it, bro, yeah? Enjoy. Go to Qatar. Fuck Qatar. Fuck Qatar. I'm never stepping foot in Qatar. The worst country on earth. Nothing good to say about them. I'll never step foot in Qatar. Yeah. Yeah, someone asked, what did you do in Djibouti? Yeah, I mean, not many Israelis go to Djibouti. Go to Cyprus. Yeah, so Cyprus, again, that's like one of what some of those countries, also Turkey maybe if the situation improves. Turkey would be very interesting. But a place like Cyprus would be like I'm not worried about Cyprus because I know at some point I'm going to make it to Cyprus because it's, a neighboring country, cheap flights. So, at any point, it's not a commitment. At any point when I'm in Israel, I can hop on a plane and go to Cyprus and make a bunch of videos. So I'm not worried about that. Oh. Damn. 1 second. So yeah, I'm not worried about all that. Cyprus, Poland, some more Balkan stuff like Serbia, Bosnia. I know it's all gonna happen. Yeah. Go to Afghanistan. Yeah, Afghanistan. Of course, a lot of vloggers have been there. I still think it's a bit dangerous for me, you know. Greece, someone said, I made a video from Athens. It was on my way back from the US. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't that good. I didn't have much inspiration there. I didn't kind of get the content I wanted, and it was only 10 minutes long. But I can go back to Greece at some point and make some more content. La Briut, yeah. I think looking in Asia for Jews would be a really cool idea. Yeah, so when I was in Philippines, I met like a Filipino Jew there, and I wanted to film him and some of his community members, and they're like he told me you have to come to the synagogue and stuff. So I went, and then the guy told me like, no, we don't agree because of there's like, I see your vlog and stuff, and we don't want to attract any bad people towards us. So he said like no. So I told the guy, like, look, you want to hang out with me? You want to make a video? This Filipino Jew. And he was like all shy and this. And like he was deferring to the rabbi. And the rabbi said like, no, you're not. So I had to drop that. Yeah. The problem with all these Jewish community videos is that the niche is a bit small, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't know like how much you can build a whole channel around Jewish communities around the world. Like I don't know how many people would watch that as a theme for your channel. I think if you already have a wide appeal and audience and you have like other audiences that you're roping in, then like the video can do well. Like what happened with Coco Girl, right? She did so many Africa videos, so then when she did a video about African Jews, it blew up like crazy, right? But that was because her channel had other audiences. I think if like you're just doing like the Jewish audience, I don't know how much that's gonna, yeah. Someone says, Avim otcha, we love you, thank you. What about Somalia or Somaliland? Yes, I was checking in about Somaliland, which is like an enclave in Somalia that's its own state. And they're not like, they're less against Israel than Somalia. Like there's even talk about some type of cooperation there. So yeah, Somaliland could be a destination. I talked to a friend of mine who'd been there. He said he didn't feel like it was that safe for an Israeli or that interesting, so I kind of dropped it. But also in general, like just visiting African countries is such a commitment. You have to get a visa. The visas are expensive. The flights are expensive. You don't understand how hard it is to travel in Africa. It's like a huge emotional and financial and time-consuming investment. It's not like other places. You just hop on a plane and you go, or you get a visa on arrival and you go. Like these places, you have to. It's a nightmare sometimes. Like I wanted to go to Eritrea. Okay, go get a visa. You know how much work it is to get a visa to Eritrea? And then a flight. You know how hard it is to fly to Eritrea? You have to fly all the way to Turkey or Saudi and then from there. Otherwise, you're never going there. Yesterday was the 14th anniversary of Mubarak's resignation. Oh. Speak slowly. I only paid like 25 shekels for a visa from Sweden to Israel, yeah. Yemen, no. Yemen is too dangerous. We have a hot war with Yemen now. I mean, the Houthis are firing at Israel. I mean, not now with the ceasefire. Yemen's off limits for now. Eritrea is super interesting, yeah, but it's too difficult to get there. And also, you don't know how much it costs. Eritrea is super expensive, like. So yeah, I mean, like all these African places, it's just too difficult for me right now. And I'm not getting enough views in Africa anyway. So it's just not worth the investment. It's just not worth it for me now to pay $1,000 in flights and visa fees to go to some African country. Like I'm never going to pay it back. You know what I mean? Plus all the expense. That's even before counting all the expenses. Like even if I get like whatever, if I do all that investment to go to Eritrea and I amass like 500,000 views on my Eritrea videos, it's not going to pay it back. And I don't know how much those viewers are going to stay with me long term. It's not worth it. Is Iraq too dangerous for you? Yes. The only option to do in Iraq would be Kurdistan, like northern Iraq. That's a possibility in the future. Can you get me a beautiful Israelite woman? I'm trying to get one for myself. I don't know. I can't. How do you expect me to get one for you? See, someone here says in Hebrew, Africa is not worth it. Again, depends how many views you get. Like if you're getting, for some people, Africa turns out to be a viral destination. For me, no. So yeah, for me right now, it's just not worth it. Egypt? I'm not going back to Egypt right now. Malta is my friend, from my childhood friend. Yeah, Malta. That's another place I'm not worried about. Like I'm gonna be there eventually just because it's close. So all those places: Cyprus, Malta, Greece, Balkans, Poland, Georgia, all those countries I know, like I'm gonna hit up at some point. Like even if I'm working a job in Israel, I can always hop on a flight and do videos from there. So, you know. Which country do you recommend me to move to from these four? Well, I would say that the ones who are in the best shape out of those four are Rwanda and Kenya. Kenya has, I think, more like slums and undeveloped areas than Rwanda. But there's also like a lot of big business in Kenya and a lot of really nice areas, you know, in Nairobi and this and tourism and safaris and stuff. And then Rwanda is pretty good shape also. Like Kigali is very developed and stuff, and so these are the easier places. Ethiopia is more difficult. They're more isolated and stuff, and it's like financially less good. Uganda also. Come to Indonesia, North Sumatra province, Medan city. Yeah, I was thinking of going to Medan when I was in Ethiopia because I was in Sumatra, right? I was in that town in Sumatra, which formed part of my video. And yeah, I should have taken advantage of that time in Indonesia to make more videos. My problem back then was I was making like long documentaries where I was roping together a bunch of different destinations into one video, and it doesn't, like, financially it's not profitable. So I was in Indonesia. I made this amazing documentary about my trip in Indonesia, and I mean, yeah, I got 30,000 views, which is nice, but that was like for, you know, 3 weeks in Indonesia, you know, so it's not worth it. If I was smart, I could have made like 5, 6, 8 videos in Indonesia, which could have like given me a bigger audience and maybe make some more money. But the problem then is I would be stuck. I would rope in a ton of viewers from Indonesia, and then, you know, after I left Indonesia, that could have harmed my channel, you know. So what about Japan? Yeah, Japan's been mentioned, and you know, again, that's like a place that you can get a lot of views in Japan, but it's a bit of a commitment because it's far away. So, you know, you have to, you know, really take a vacation, go all the way there and this, and then do, you know. So it's a commitment. I don't want to tell you what to do, bro, but I feel like you should plug your merch more often in your vids because I noticed your t-shirt and I want to see you travel, yeah. By the way, so merch, yeah, this is the Insightful Nomad shirt. And if you go into the link that's in this live stream and in general on my channel, you can go to the merch shop and you can get like a hat, you can get a mug, you can get a mat or something, and support my channel and get yourself something nice. Or if you just want to support my channel and you don't care about the merchandise, you can just drop me like a PayPal, or you can sign up for my Patreon, or you can send me a super chat. You can support me that way. I don't sell my channel like enough. Other people, like, they're always, I'm like, you know, but yeah. Patreon's also a good way to support me because on Patreon, it's like a consistent donation to my channel, and you get like exclusive stuff there. So yeah. Mexico's a beautiful country. Visit us if you're able to. Yeah, the North and Central America. I was in South America. My South America is when I started off my YouTube, and I just didn't do well there, unfortunately. I have some videos, some stuff, some unpublished content from South America, and I have like a bit of a mess from my Venezuela videos. So I made like a bunch of short videos and stuff. So I kind of I'm planning on making like a proper Venezuela documentary from the content that I filmed, by like stitching together some of the shorter videos and putting in some like unseen content until now. And then maybe, so yeah, that could be an idea of something to do. Travel site Siberia in minus 40 degrees. You could visit Bali in Indonesia, yeah. When I was in Indonesia, I thought about going to Bali and then flying out from Bali. But I've been to Bali before. Oh, you know, you said about Bali. Funny fact, guys. You know that picture, my profile picture on my YouTube where I'm standing on that mountain, which I need to replace, by the way. I need a better picture than that. That's almost from Bali. It's from Flores, which is close to Bali. It's where the Komodo dragons are. So when I went to Bali, this was just before I started my channel. This was like in 2022. I took that picture. So yeah. Visit Northeast India, the home of the lost tribe of Israel. Oh yeah, like Nagaland and all that. Jared from Ethiopia sends a flag. Thank you. Yeah. What kind of food did you eat in Uganda? A lot of Rolex sandwich, which I mentioned in my Kampala video, which is the street food that's super cheap. You know, it's like less than $1 and it fills you up. It's a chapati bread with a bunch of egg. So yeah, I mean, also had some ugali and things like that. Do you like African food? I'm not. The problem, all the African foods, like a lot of them are based around ugali, and I just don't like ugali. Ugali, it's like a. I mean, not. I eat it. I can eat it, but it's ugali. It's like this rice. It's a type of rice that they make here in Africa, and it's very filling, and like a lot of the dishes are based around ugali. Did the Egyptian police ever tell you off for filming? Yeah, there's a scene, Muhammad. If you go to my Patreon, I keep trying to promote my Patreon. If you go to my Patreon, there's a scene on my Patreon where the police tell me off in Egypt. I have a bunch of scenes from Egypt on my Patreon. By the way, some of them are viewable without a membership, right? Like you can get a free membership on my Patreon, and then some of the content is accessible. So if you go to my Patreon, even as a free member, I think you can see that video where I went to one of the synagogues in Cairo and I started filming, and then the guard starts yelling at me. Yeah. Is Kenya more developed than Ethiopia? Yeah, it is. You ever want to Tajikistan or Kazakhstan? Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I could have done that when I was in Azerbaijan, right? Azerbaijan, you can take a boat across to Kazakhstan. So yeah. Thank you, My Reaction World. Travel to Rome. Romans want to meet you. Yeah, I met a Roman guy in that video that I made. Ethiopian food, yeah, I mean, Ethiopian food is based on, what do you call it? Injera, that bread that they have, right? That flat bread. And, yeah, and it's all right. You have injera with, like, tips or with shuro sauce, and it's just pretty good. Yeah. All right, so how is our thing going? Right, so Ethiopia is really killing the poll here. What about Antarctica? Yeah, right. You know how expensive it is to go to Antarctica? Although my friend Avi, he went to Antarctica now because he got like some type of sponsored trip. Hey bro, nice to see you. This is Nathaniel from my last video in Ethiopia with the Jewish community. So you should watch that video with Nathaniel. He's in the live stream now. Do you think old Jew are brown? What do you think? I think they're like Levantish, right? Which is, you know, the people of the Levant, they're not white. They're not like European white, but they're not that brown either. Like if you look at Syria, places like Syria, Lebanon, they're not very brown. Like a lot of Syrians are pale white. A lot of Lebanese. Some Egyptians as well. So, you know, I assume they look kind of like whatever. Kind of like what a lot of people look like now even, you know? They might have looked like me. Like, I don't know. But, yeah. Thanks. Have you ever visited the coffee house Fika in Tel Aviv? No. Why? What's going on in Fika in Tel Aviv? There's the one main base, but you can only go to Antarctica for scientific research. No, that's not true. Maybe, I don't know how much like to get on the mainland of Antarctica, but there are a lot of boats that sail around there, and it is possible to do various trips there. What do you think about Abdel Fattah al-Sisi? I don't know. I mean, from what I see, he's not really taking the country in a good direction, right? Like I hear people saying that they miss the Mubarak days now, because then at least economically it was a more positive time. It kind of feels like Sisi's like just like throwing the money away on this new capital and a bunch of other unnecessary stuff. I don't know. But I don't know enough about like the Egyptian domestic politics to really say definitively. Owned by Swedish Jewish family with Swedish fika. What's fika? Didn't think of that. Going on an Antarctic cruise would be crazy. Yeah, my friend Avi. You know Avi Gold, the ultra-Orthodox Israeli guy who's been like to Afghanistan and Iraq and all those places. So he did that. He did the cruise and he did a cruise in Antarctica now. Are you happy with Trump flying American flag in Gaza? I don't know. I guess it's preferable to the Hamas flag in Gaza, no? Well, maybe we should end the poll. Ethiopia 60%, Kenya 25%. What's your favorite country in East Africa? Ethiopia 1, 25% Kenya, 77% Uganda, 6% Rwanda. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I can't blame Egypt for not wanting Palestinians. We've seen what happened in southern Lebanon. Yeah, it would probably be destabilizing for Egypt. But you know, maybe Trump will force Egypt to take some. I don't know. You know, like from those looking from the outside, they say. I mean, Egypt has what 100 million people. They used to control the Gaza Strip up until '67. Sinai Peninsula is big and uninhabited. So people say, yeah, like you should be taking some people, but obviously from Egypt's interests, they don't have any interest to do it. A, because they could be destabilizing for Egypt, and B, because they'd be seen as traitors in the Arab world if they take. This is the bottom line thing, right? Every country that would take in Palestinians would be seen as traitors to the Palestinians. So that's why why nobody wants to take them in. What about Palestinian citizens flying their own flag? Yeah, sure. Just like fly your own flag under a leadership government that doesn't want to annihilate Israel and doesn't use all the resources to bomb Israel, you know, like Hamas does. Then it's fine. I don't mind. That's the chance that they had in Gaza. Israel withdrew unilaterally 2005. They had every opportunity to build something out of it, and they chose to go to eternal war with Israel, and this is the result. So after 20 years of wars with Hamas, I think a lot of people are saying, be damned that. They see the Trump plan and they're like, yeah, let them leave. Like, I understand it's not like a truly moral position, right, to say, oh, Palestinians leave Gaza. But it's also not moral to rebuild Gaza under Hamas, because that's just dooming everyone to more war. So, So yeah, like wave your own flag and everything. Just don't call for annihilating Israel and don't bomb Israel. But that's never going to happen. Hamas will always attack Israel because that's what they represent. That's what they live for. That's what their cause is. That's what their ideology is. What do you think of Tigrayan people in North Ethiopia? I met a lot of Tigrayans when I was in northern Ethiopia, where I actually made most of my videos. And they were nice and everything. There's definitely like a lot of spite and bad blood between Tigray and like the government in Ethiopia. I also noticed the Tigrayans think they're kind of like better than the Ethiopians because they have most of the history, So, for example, the cities like Aksum and all the ancient monasteries and like a lot of the ancient Christianity stuff, like things that really are a central part of the Ethiopian culture, they're in Tigray. So, like a lot of Tigrayans, gives them this kind of sense of we are like the real Ethiopia, Now, is that correct or fair? I don't know, but I'm just saying like the perception that I got. Like when I was hanging out with the Tigrayans and we were just eating some tibs, and I was like, oh, like tibs. I had a bunch of tibs, and Adis is like, no, but our tibs is better. And I'm like, why? It's the same. It's like, no, because here it's made from there. And it's like. And he's, it's just like the Tigrayan thing. They have to say like everything in Tigray the Tigrayan is better than Ethiopia, like according to them, So, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, obviously they're nice people and they welcome me and stuff, and they have their own language, which is different. It sounds more like Arabic. They have the heritage there. They have the wars that they fought with Ethiopia. Ark of the Covenant, I don't know if it's actually there or not, but that's another like piece of heritage story around them. So interesting place, interesting people. But there's a conflict. There's a conflict between Tigray and Ethiopia, and it's it's a whole deal there. Yeah. Interesting that you actually had a diversity of opinion in that poll outside of Ethiopia. What poll outside of Ethiopia? It's the Amhara people that was historically in the ruling position in Ethiopia. My bro, Tigray are part of Ethiopians, you know. Yeah, no, I know, but what do you mean Tigray are part of Ethiopians? You are aware that just a few years ago there was a massive, massive war between the Ethiopian central government and the Tigrayans, where like thousands of people were killed. There's a whole history. For example, the leadership in Ethiopia after the communist Derg in the 70s to 90s was there was an elite from Tigray that was ruling all of Ethiopia. So they were in the positions of power. And then when they were ousted, it was like some of the what you call the Amhara region people wanted revenge on the Tigrayans because they used to be in power. So there's that's what I'm saying. So there's a whole. You're right that there's similarities between the people, but there are also differences. And my God, there's a lot of the Tigrayans are similar to some of the peoples in Eritrea. That's also true. So there's a lot of stuff going on between Tigray and Ethiopia. To just say, oh, they're all Ethiopians, well, if that were the case, then you wouldn't have all the things that you have right now. Yeah. Tigrayans are not Ethiopians. We are the true Semitic people. You see, from the mouth of a Tigrayan himself. That's what I'm saying. Like they don't just view themselves as the same as the Amhara people. Now, I'm not trying to take a side here between Tigray and the other Ethiopians. I'm just saying, like, what they themselves are saying about each other is that it's not so simple to just say, oh, Tigrayans are Ethiopians. Like, it's not exactly like that, you know? We Ugandans, we love... I respect you and love you and character and content, but not your fake state. Well, that's your problem, not mine. You know? Like, I always get this. There's no Israel. Israel's a fake country. Israel doesn't exist. Israel, no. This is, this is a fantasy delusion. It's not reality. It's okay. Like, you don't like Israel. Fine. That's your right to not like Israel. I don't like a bunch of countries around me, but they exist. Like, what can... Like, there's... I don't see what good it does to live in denial for the betterment of everybody. Like, you have to accept the reality at some point. That's my thought. Have you read this book, Signed and the Seal by Graham Hancock? I have not. I think Graham Hancock is a charlatan and an idiot, right? I don't think anything he says is true. I think he uses the most, like, shoddy methodology to prove his historical stuff. So, like, I mean, he's fun to listen to. He has a bunch of wild theories, and there might be, like, certain facts that he cites that might be of interest for certain things. Should we look at Graham Hancock as some type of historian? No, he's not. I think it's interesting you have such a diverse amount of options on favorite African places in your polls. Yeah, 1 second, guys, 1 second. All right, we're back. So yeah, I'm obviously a little bit sick here. Someone says, leave politics alone. The problem is, like, I'm looking at these other channels where they do nothing. All they do is they post some video of Piers Morgan, whatever, or some other Israel-Palestine thing. They just post it. They don't even put their own content. They just post someone else's video, do like a short reaction, and they get 50,000 views, 100,000 views. Like those are moments where you ask yourself, I believe in what I do. That's the only reason why I'm doing it. Otherwise, There's so many cheap shot political avenues I could take with my channel that would be so much more profitable to me and so much easier to do than what I'm doing, which is like running around the world to the most difficult places. So that's a real beatdown, you know? Like when you see that, when you see those channels doing so well and like you're putting out this original content where you have to actually be on the ground and stuff and sometimes put yourself at risk, and you see you're outperformed by this nonsense, it's very discouraging. Like it's the type of things that makes you want to quit. The music there is straight bumping all the time. Yeah, maybe. That's also because the door is open, which I did to help my cold, but it's not really helping. Did the Jews in Uganda have any desire to go to Israel? So yeah, like I talked with them a little bit about that. I also asked about it in the video. But like, yeah, I mean, some of them would like to go, maybe. Also to improve their lives, also to be like closer to the Jewish centers. Some of them have a connection to Israel, but they want to also be in Uganda. Like my friend Ezra, who was like my guide there. He's going to go to Israel to like study and become a rabbi, but he wants to come back to Uganda and lead the community there, you know? Also, it's not easy for them to make aliyah because their community is not really recognized and because it's their descendants of converts and things like that. So, you know, it's not, they can't so easily make aliyah. There is one guy, they told me there's one guy who succeeded in making aliyah, like immigrating to Israel. Like he got all the approvals and stuff, but it's not so simple for them, right? Just like some of the Ethiopians also that I talked to, that their communities are not, you know, they come from a certain community that's not fully recognized, so it's hard for them to make aliyah, things like that, like to immigrate. Don't focus on the views. Yeah, people keep saying don't focus on the views. That might be true the first couple months where you're in the passion of doing things, but like when you're losing money every day and when you like can't afford anything but the most basic accommodation and food, and you have no financial future, then when people say don't focus on the views is a bit difficult to accept that. There are a couple of Nigerian rabbis, yeah? Would you consider yourself religiously? Yeah, so I mean, I grew up in the Masorti movement, like in the not religious, but like kind of like semi-observant community of people who are kind of, let's call them more secular people who have like an attachment to some traditions and follow some holidays. So yeah. But like when I was in elementary school, I went to a Masorti school. So like in the school, we would, for example, pray in the morning, shacharit, pray, which you don't do in a regular secular school, for example. The youth movement I went to, Noam, like the Masorti movement also, you know, I was kind of involved a little bit in the synagogue of my parents, things like that. So I'm more religious than like the average secular person. Like I have more contact with the religion than the average secular person. Do you know Kibbutz Torah? Yeah, of course. Because when I was in the youth movement, I had people from that kibbutz, and my brother volunteered there. I've been there. Bro, you're brave to make these videos. Thank you. I try, you know. I don't know. I feel like it's been a while since I made a really brave video. I think the last brave video I made was the war zone in Ethiopia. Yeah, so that took some bravery, but yeah, it's been a while since I went down the brave genre, you know. I also lived there when I made Aliyah. The world is small. Yeah, because they have a bunch of programs there. They have the Arava Institute there, and you know. Yeah, I agreed. I really appreciate a Jewish travel YouTuber like yourself just seeing stuff. You agree with what though? What do you agree with? Viller. Oh, thanks, man. I've seen that Viller just sent a nice very generous contribution of 10 euros. And I've seen you in some of my videos recently, like commenting, like you've been checking out my videos and you sent a couple of contributions there as well. So thank you very much for that. If you want to say where you're from and what you've been up to, how you found my channel, I'd like to hear. Hamad says, nice videos in Saudi Arabia. I like it. Great. I'm glad to see that my Saudi videos have some appreciation because I worked so hard on them and I spent so much money like traveling there and stuff. It's nice to get a reward for that a little bit. I want to come to Israel. Can you help me? Where to go? How to stay safe? Staying safe, it's like pretty easy. I mean, obviously, there's always a chance that some terrorists will infiltrate Tel Aviv and start firing on people, like happened at the light rail station next to my house. But you know, there's still a higher chance of, or as high a chance of a car accident as that. You know, so and you can't control that. So I just say you can come, you land in Tel Aviv, you go to Tel Aviv, you go to Jerusalem. It's not really that dangerous, you know. Yeah. Should have visited Yeha in Tigray. It's a civilization far older than Aksum. Yeah, I heard of the place as well. There's an old temple there. I could have done so many stuff when I was in Tigray. I think, yeah, when I did the visa, I should have done a 2-month visa, and there was a lot I could have accomplished. But you know, you live and you learn. I'm Egyptian, and I appreciate your bravery to come to Egypt. You have a good character and a good heart. All respect to you. Thank you. Yeah, Egypt was a fun videos to make. You know. It was a good experience, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it's hard to replicate that. That was the first place, and that was, you know, kind of like the type of destination that it's hard to find. So, you know, it's kind of I look at that Egypt video with 1 million views now, and it was kind of everything, the right place at the right time, right content, right interactions, everything kind of worked. And you know, we got a great vlog, and it made a great vlog, and it was a great vlog regardless. Like, it was a great vlog that you know, it obviously like struck a nerve with a lot of people, Israelis, Egyptians, like pro-Israelis, anti-Israelis, pro-Palestinians, Arabs, Jews. Like there was like a very huge audience of people of different backgrounds who all enjoyed the video for different reasons, you know. So that's cool. Like it you know, it reached a bunch of people. It did something. I don't know. I'm not sure what yet, but it affected people in some way, and that's kind of like what you want to do, right? With this platform, like it's nice to get views and stuff, but for me, it was never only about views. Like I want people to learn something. I want them to be impacted in some way, you know, to open their minds in some way or another. So I think that video kind of achieved everything I want to achieve in this vlog. I see a little increase in your YouTube views since your haircut. Nah, I'm looking at the stats. Not really. All other destinations in Ethiopia are boring and there's not much to visit. All the interesting stuff is in Tigray. Nah, I mean, there's interesting stuff in other parts of Ethiopia as well. I agree that in Tigray there is stuffed a lot of like very ancient sites that are super interesting. But I think, you know, there's also interesting stuff in other places. There's the Danakil Depression. There's those tribes on the stilts in southern Ethiopia. You can go east to that area that's close to Djibouti. There's other things to see, you know. The Beta Israel community in Amhara is interesting, yeah. So I didn't go to Amhara because I had to fly in like $150 each way. So, and I didn't have the time to do that, so yeah. Yeah. The Konzo tribe stands out. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to see. There's a lot of stuff. There is a lot of stuff. Well, I'm wondering, should we do another poll before we finish this live stream? Does anyone have any ideas for a poll? Yeah. Yeah, what poll? What poll should we make? Someone mentioned my short hair. Yeah, it's okay, except the barber, he came here and he just like, he was doing a really good job, and then all of a sudden he just like cut off a huge chunk of hair like in a crucial place, like right here where it's supposed to go like this. He just cut it off and he kind of left a hole in my head here. So someone was talking about my short hair after I got had a haircut. Safest city in Israel poll. Like a butcher, not a barber. Yeah. I am a teacher from Finland. Been watching your channel for a while. YouTube recommended it. Interesting videos. Cool. For some reason, thank you. For some reason, my videos, they reach some Scandinavian people and like some Finnish. Like there's Timo. You guys probably seen Timo in the live stream a couple times. Like he follows my channel. And he also sends contributions like in the live stream and stuff. So he's like a very good follower, like very like loyal person who really like supports the channel, like Anna, you know, and also Anna. So yeah, you know, We get some reach in Scandinavia somehow. Lalibela is in the Amhara region. Yeah, Lalibela is also cool. That's where you have those submerged churches in the ground. But it's again, you have to fly in. It's like going to a new country. Whenever you have to fly, when you have to pay like $150 to fly somewhere, it's like okay, you yeah, you stole my haircut. We are now clashing. Shave it off. Okay. Be quiet. Who should be quiet? If you're telling me to be quiet, this is my live stream, so you should be quiet. But I don't know who. Maybe you're talking to someone else. Yeah. No. Are you in Tel Aviv now? No. Well, I'll get married in 2025. Unlikely. But am I in Tel Aviv? No, I'm in Africa. But like I said, I'm probably gonna go back to Israel soonish. Like I'm not gonna say exactly when, because I still wanna surprise you guys with some of the stuff I do. So yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Anyway, I'm trying to think. Any ideas for a poll? Someone said safest country. Maybe we can do another thing about Africa. I don't know. But yeah. The original rock-hewn churches are in Tigray. Lots of impressive monasteries. Yeah, I know. I saw one of those. I made a video about it, you know. But the ones that are in the ground, like, that's in Lalibela. So it's different. Like the rock hewn churches are cool. And I have my video from Abuna Yamata, which is the most famous one. But the ones in Lalibela, they have something else to offer. Wear a cap. Why? Why is my hair that ugly? I need to wear a cap? No, don't exaggerate. And I'm doing well because I'm 36 and I'm not balding, almost like very little balding, so I should show off my hair. Should Alec visit a zoo in Africa? Bro, you don't have zoos in Africa. You have safaris in Africa. That's the beauty of Africa. In other places you have a zoo. Here you go to like a big natural expanse and you drive with the car, right, with the safari car, and you get to see them in their own environment. Jamming the classic dance on the background. Yeah, because where I'm staying here, they're putting on music. Someone said, what do you think about Egypt? I don't know. I mean, I've talked about this in the past, but, you know. But yeah, I mean, look, I liked my trip in Egypt. It was interesting and fun. I met some nice people. But it's tough when you're Israeli to have a relationship with Egypt because they all hate you so much. So it's like, what are you going to do? You know? Africa, beautiful girls, Paul. Yeah. How about Somalia? Yeah, well, we talked about this. Somalia is just like dangerous, rough place to visit. It could get some views, but I think just as an Israeli going to Somalia is too dangerous, I think. A little bit too dangerous. Right now, at least, when tensions are so high. How about Somalia? What about... Well, maybe we can ask, like... Let's put it this way. Which country would be most dangerous for insightful nomad in Africa? Right? Which would be most this? I mean, so we have because we've had some options here, right? So which would be the most dangerous? This doesn't include North Africa, so we're not including like places like Algeria on this. We're talking about like the other places, right? So which of these? I mean, some of these have like a Muslim angle to them, right? Which is always, but these are like some options of places that could be super viral, but that are very difficult to film in, So like, give me your thoughts on these 4 countries. Which is the most dangerous for me? For me. Someone says Congo. Yeah, well, that's why I put that in. Would you consider South Sudan? I know Israel was one of the first to recognize it, so it would be cool. I mean, yeah. I've heard some options about South Sudan. I hear there's the war that's going on there is going to wrap up soon, probably. So then maybe you can go. It's so expensive though. Like the cheapest Airbnb is $100 a night or something. So you would have to have someone to host you. Again, this is the problem in these countries because everything is like so run down, and like you need, like in a lot of these places you need some type of government authorization to have a hotel. That's why there are no hotels. You know, like why you would think that someone would have some room where they can host you in a poor country, but you need some type of authorization. So like in Eritrea, there are no hotels. In Sudan, there are no hotels. So if you want to find a place to host you, you have to pay like an exorbitant sum. Somalia is compared to a war zone in a lot of media. Yeah, Somalia is rough. That's the problem. I like visit Rwanda. Yeah, I'm in Rwanda now. Someone said, "Did you enjoy in Egypt?" Yeah, I had a good time in Egypt. It was it was a very interesting for the vlogging, and you know I met some nice people. So yeah, I mean it was good. Hello from Beersheba, Israel. Nice to see you here. Is Eritrea has dead food too? I don't know what that means, but yeah. What's your opinion about Muslim people? Do you support what's going on in Gaza? I mean, like, someone asked me also before about Islam, and it's like, I think my record speaks for itself, right? Like, the fact that me, as a person from Israel, I went to Egypt, Morocco, Azerbaijan, Indonesia, Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, like, also places in Israel, like, you know, in, like, the mosque in Jaffa, and the Bedouins and stuff. I think, like, my record speaks for itself. And you can watch the videos and you can see how I behave in those places, that I don't have a problem with Muslims in general, you know, or Islam in general. So yeah, I mean, as far as Gaza is run by Hamas, which is an Islamic fundamentalist group that wants to annihilate Israel and uses all the resources that should go to the people of Gaza to attack Israel. So, you know, there's no future under Hamas. The problem is that a lot of people in Gaza support Hamas, right? They also support annihilating Israel and launching rockets at Israel and things like that. Like the armed resistance against Israel is very popular in a lot of places. Also in Egypt, like Egypt has a peace agreement with Israel, but when, you know, Hamas attacked Israel, they were also happy, you know? So what can you do? So, like when people say, do you support? Of course, I would prefer if there was no war. Like, I don't want a war with them, but is Israel supposed to just like sit back while they kidnap people? And I don't know, like what is your alternative? I don't see what the alternative is. What was your favorite country to visit so far? I don't know. Maybe Sudan, but Somalia is a close. Visit Tanzania, Botswana. Oh yeah, what's the deal with Botswana? I haven't like heard anything about Botswana. Like I haven't seen anyone who's visited there. I don't know anything about it. It's like not on the radar of anybody. Like, is it safe? Is it easy to travel there? You know. Yeah, what about those strange comments on your videos about sex and women? I've never seen that before. Crazy. What's up with people? Are they? Yeah, like I feel like I have some. There's these people on my comments in my channel that I always get the feeling they're a bot because of like the type of things that they say. Like Anna said, like they immediately bring up like women and sex and things like that. And like I think they're bots, but then they'll like write something detailed, and I'm like, can a bot actually write this? So like I don't know what's going on with those people. They're always like reacting to my videos. They're always saying like these things, and I'm like, I'm not able to definitively say if there's some type of bot or if they're like what trolls. Like I don't know what they are. You know, like I don't know what the deal is. Someone says it's easy to travel in Botswana. Okay. Come to Ireland, you will get some viral clips. Yeah. Yeah. Dude's a homosexual. Who's a homosexual? Me? First of all, there's nothing wrong with being a homosexual, but I don't know where you're getting that, why you're saying that, but whatever. Can you do something about the weather in New England? You. Okay, fine. The person who goes into YouTube, on YouTube, to call someone else a homosexual is like the biggest pathetic loser that anyone in this world can be. You know, and everything that you type from now on is someone when you go into someone else's YouTube to insult them, everything that you type now, if you were to type, just shows what a pathetic loser you are. So you're welcome to keep typing until I have enough with you, and then I'll just block you. Can you do something about the weather in New England, please? I'll give you a few coins. Okay. I don't know what that means. People live on the internet these days, my brother. Yeah, I know. But it's like, I don't know. Don't you have something better to do? Like spending all your time on your internet, even on something positive, is like not a great use of your time. Like you should not be living online. You should be living in other places. But it's even worse if you're on the internet to do negative things. Botswana, nice country. Okay, well I don't know anything about Botswana, but hopefully I'll make it there one day. A lot of fights in your high school or mostly litigation? Fights? What fights? High school? What high school? Would you say Israel is becoming more religiously conservative? I think about it a lot. Yeah, so that's the thing is that Israel, because the ultra orthodox and the Orthodox have more kids, then in some way that means that Israel is becoming more religious, right? Demographically, like if you're a secular couple in Tel Aviv, you have 2 kids, maybe 3, which is still high by Western standards. But if you're ultra orthodox, you have 8, and if you're Orthodox, you're having 5 or 6. So I would say Israel is becoming more religious in that sense. And that could be a problem also because, like the ultra-Orthodox, they don't contribute as much to the economy. They don't go into the military. So I don't know. What's with the secret tunnels? What tunnels? Love your Uganda videos about Jewish community. Thank you. Thank you. The algorithm lost interest in you because you don't follow the program of the YouTube travel shills. What's the program of the YouTube travel shills, if I may ask? But yeah, I mean, like I've become very bitter, Like people see this in my live streams. I've become bitter because, like, the channel is just not getting exposure and it's being outperformed by crap, like by haircut videos, by, negative, whatever, scam videos, boring, unoriginal, whatever videos. But yeah. Pretty interesting. Did you serve in the military? What's pretty interesting? But yeah, like always, most people in Israel, I served. I was a medic in a combat unit. Appreciate your taste of music. I'll take it. It's not my mind to compliment though, because it's just coming here from the guest house from outside. They're playing music here, so I don't have a say. They all go to the exact same tourist destinations and repeat the same talking points. They get paid to promote tourism. Yeah, but there's not that. There's 2 types of channels, right, that get views. Maybe I would say, one is the one like you say. They're just shills. They go to a country. They just say, "Oh, it's so nice here. It's so wonderful here." Blah blah blah, and that's like being a shill, right? But I'm not sure that necessarily gets a lot of views. It does though open up sponsorship opportunities, like paid trips, right? So some tourist company will pay you to go on their trip so you can promote them, things like that. But to say that those people get the most views on YouTube, no. I would say actually like a lot of the kind of negative people sometimes get more views, like Bald and Bankrupt. He'll like talk shit about the countries he visited sometimes and stuff like that. But then there's a lot of those places, a lot of this content where they just do the same crap all the time. But yeah. Thought you were playing it. They get paid to promote tourism. Yeah, some of them. You got a lot of nerve calling me on Shabbat on some bullshit. Okay. What are you talking about exactly? Dope that you're served. I guess my messages are just destroyed because of the stream. Yeah, look, most Israelis serve, right? So it's not like I don't deserve some special credit for serving. Like, but I did go. I was in a combat unit, so a lot of people they'll just do some crap easy job as possible and not commit in any way and do the hard work. I did like guard duty on the Lebanon border and a bunch of other things. So I mean. Yeah, I mean, I did more than some, but also don't do reserve. And some people, they continue to do reserves for years on end, so they did more than me, some of those people. So yeah, I mean, some people did more, some people did less. Your female viewership is very low. Why? Is it very low? I don't know. I got a bunch of female viewers, and some of my best followers are female. I appreciate you always negotiate the price. Yeah, because I don't want to be ripped off. And people are like, oh, pay, support the locals. I'm like, F that. F that. What is it? I'm just by being here, I'm supporting the locals. I'm paying for a bunch of things. I'm making videos about their country. Why should I pay like double for everything? Like, okay, oh, here, a motorbike, we'll charge you double. No, like I want to get the local price. I think that's fine. Alec is an expert sniper. Don't dare mess with him. Nah, I'm not a sniper. Leave your nose alone. Hello. Yeah. No, I'm not picking my nose, but like after when you have a stuffy nose, sometimes like you end up touching your nose, but it's like, yeah. I definitely need to get healthier. It's hard to make videos and stuff and be active when you're not feeling 100% physically. This journey must be costly. Yeah, I mean it costs. It's not that costly because again, like once you deal with the visas and the flights, once you're there, you don't spend that much money because you can get cheap accommodation, cheap food and stuff like that. But you know, I mean, still, yeah, obviously. You pay money, and like that's the problem. People say don't care about the views, but I'm losing money. Like I'm still losing money now. Maybe if I did a live stream every day, I wouldn't lose money. But I don't like the idea of being supported by a small group of people who constantly send me donations. Like I want to be standing on my own feet, like have a big enough channel with enough views and memberships and things like that where I'm making enough money. Like this thing of like, okay, well, do a bunch of live streams and people send you donations and make your money that way. It's like, I don't feel like that's right. And those ADV China guys put together a compilation of all the top YouTube travelers, including Bald and Bank Club, clearly just repeating what they've been told to say. I don't understand what you're saying. ADV China guys and repeating what they've been told to say. But what did I didn't see the Bald and Bank Club video in China, so I don't know. Have you ever felt that you're in danger after saying that you're from Israel? I never really felt like I was in danger, but I did feel uncomfortable in some places, in some situations, particularly in Egypt. Is the Israeli opinion about the Irish quite bad? Like, again, I talked about this. Like, most people are not immersed enough in the external whatever world that's going on concerning Israel to even be aware of how much, like, the Irish talk shit about Israel, you know? So, like, I remember, like, you see in YouTube and social media, you see the Israelis who speak good English. We're talking to about the war stuff and whatever. Like most people, they're not in that world enough to know. So yeah, they know that the Palestinians are our enemies. They know like that a lot of the Arab Muslim world don't like us. They know that some Europeans don't like us. But like the whole thing of like specifically the Irish or the Scotsmen compared to the English, like East versus Western Europe, like they don't know enough about that. To really like be like, oh, the Irish, you know, those who are following, you know, they know though, they see that the Irish talk like a ton of shit about us, and it's annoying, of course, especially because they're projecting a lot of their own things, right? The Irish had the whole war with the British and the IRA and that kind of thing. So like for me and people who like are aware of the, you know, the Irish obsession with Israel, like it feels like, you know, they're looking for a cause. Because, you know, their cause is kind of over there and they're looking for a cause and then they project what happened in their conflict, right? So like the IRA did terrorism. So, oh, look, the Palestinians are fighting the colonialists like we did or something like that. They make some like false comparison and whatever. And that's what it is. Like, it's just not, it's kind of like a type of stupidity that's hard for me to explain, you know? Yeah. But it's also not all the Irish, because like when I was in Albania, I was in the hostel, I met a really nice Irish guy, and he told me like there's in Ireland you have the crazy leftists who support like all the communists and whatever and the Palestinians and who are doing all this whatever. And then there's like a bunch of other Irish who are much more just like normal, you know, and aren't like behind all that, like, you know, Hamas supporters and whatever. So yeah. I am Northern Ireland, fully supportive of Israel. Yeah, but Northern Ireland is different because Northern Ireland are the Unionists, right? The ones who are most anti-Israel are the Catholic, like Sinn Féin guys, right? The guys who fought the British. So they view in the Palestinians fighting Israel, they think it's like the Irish fighting the British all over again, but it's not. This is what people always do with Israel-Palestine. They project their own nonsense onto the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, right? So whatever they're going through in their country, they project it onto Israel. So like in the US, there's all kinds of race issues, you know, with the, damn, how much battery do I have left? 8%. in the U.S., there's all these race issues and whatever between like blacks and African Americans and others and then us, and then they project it onto Israel. They project like apartheid South Africa onto Israel when it's a completely different situation, because that's what people do. They're constantly projecting their own thing onto Israel. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a mistake. Rodolfo says, accepting to pay higher prices because you're a tourist affects in long-term locals also, because then providers prefer to serve only tourists to get more local, and locals have to accept paying more to be served. Yeah, that's an interesting take. Rodolfo hosted me when I was in Venezuela, by the way. So it's good to see you again. And yeah, if I, like I said, if I end up doing like reworking some of my content from Venezuela, then yeah, hopefully I can do that. And then some of you also who join my channel later, and also there'll be new content. You can see like a cool documentary from Venezuela, which doesn't happen every day, right? Videos from Venezuela. Female YouTuber Itchy Boots got ripped off in Baghdad. Did you watch her video? No. But yeah, she's pretty crazy. Like, she drove her motorbikes to some pretty crazy places. Alex Nico, hello. Alec, I like the video of the Nile in Uganda and the Jewish community. Yeah, that video of the Nile didn't do well, and I'm like, damn, that video deserves so much more. I thought it was pretty good. What is the deal with this guy telling me to shut up on my own channel? Like, what do you think is gonna happen? Yeah. Anyway, Heil, hello. Well, all I can say is time soon to sign off here. We had some of the usual suspects on the live stream, even though it wasn't a big one. And yeah, Jonathan, why is everything you write on my live stream and on my channel about women and about, I don't know, sex stuff? Like, are you a bot or not? What's your deal? I want to know now, Jonathan. Where are you from exactly? How old are you? What's your story? I want to know, because like you're always responding, but you're always like responding stuff that are inappropriate. So I want to know who you are, please. You should visit Rwanda. Yeah, I'm in Rwanda now. I love women. Yoni is my boy. No, enough with this shit. No. Like, you can do sometimes, but like these people, they're constantly... I'm 39 years from Tel Aviv. I'm single. Okay, fine. Don't harass people in the... and don't like respond everything like sexual stuff on my channel. Like, I'm glad you're watching my videos. Like, sorry I'm being like not nice like now. Like, I appreciate your support. But like every time on my channel you're like talking about the ladies and stuff. It's like a bit much, you know? Where is your next visit? Rwanda. Okay, I'll respect it. Sorry. Sorry for being harsh. You know, it's not because of you. Like, there's a bunch of people. Like, whenever I make a video, they start bringing up all this sexual stuff. There was that Lita Constance and some others also. Like, when I made the video from the Now and stuff. Yeah, there were some chicks there. Fine. Like, you can write a comment about the girls in the bus station. It's fine. Like, you can, but like, don't overdo it, guys. Let's keep the channel respectful. Let's keep it like quality, you know? Like, I don't want my comment section to constantly deteriorate to talks about sexual stuff. Like, it's not good. I don't think it's good for my channel. Like, I also think the YouTube algorithm probably picks up on that kind of thing and then doesn't necessarily promote your channel, you know? So just like keep it respectful, everybody. That's all I'm saying. When do you come back to Ethiopia? I don't know. There was also a story I heard now of like a bunch of a YouTuber who got arrested there and everything. So I'm kind of scared about that as well. Well, yeah, okay. So which country would be most dangerous for insightful nomads? So that's for me specifically. So that's a combination of danger, wait, sorry. Maybe that's why your videos didn't go up. Sorry, I want you to do well. Nah, it's probably not because of that. That's just like me exaggerating. But, you know, people, like, they look through the comments and stuff, and when they see like only those type of responses, then it's not a great look for the channel. You know what I mean? Shalom from Germany. Shalom. Um, thanks for your answers. Yeah. Anyway, so most dangerous for me, 62% Somalia, 0% Mauritania, 18% Congo, 21% Sudan. So yeah, Somalia is dangerous, you see. Anyway, we're going to end the poll and probably end the live stream here, just because my battery is about to run out and we have been going for about 2 hours. And yeah, someone said about like plugging my merch and stuff. So, yeah, this is the merch, the Insightful Nomad shirt. There are several types of shirts and also like other hats and other things that you can buy if you want to support me. There's also the Patreon, which is a membership. So it's like a monthly, very small donation, as little as $5. But you get access to exclusive content, sneak peek of upcoming videos and things like that. So those are some ways you can support me. Or you can send me a PayPal. I have the link, and just like one-off donation if you want to support me. I'm sure most of you, especially those who are living in Western countries, are making a lot more money than me. So it's a good way to support me. But yeah, that's the deal. Obviously, I'm struggling with the channel a bit. I'm not getting... Oh, Anna sent me a donation. Anna, though, is single-handedly holding up my channel at this point. So thank you, Anna. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, channel is struggling, as I said, kind of like... I think I've seen some growth with some of the diehard people who really like follow. And yeah, but I think Africa hasn't kind of done as well as I wanted. But maybe when I go back to Israel and stuff, things will pick up. So, I'm trying to keep up the good work and continue like creating really interesting, good content. But it's tough because I feel like this platform doesn't reward good original content. I feel like it often rewards other things. And you have to kind of have a certain strategy for where your channel's going. And I feel like I've mixed too many genres, right? Like I've mixed political stuff with travel. I've mixed like more edited videos with like more raw, authentic ones. Longer videos with shorter videos. So I feel like maybe part of it is on me. I haven't been strategic enough. The channel's been all over the place. And maybe that hasn't helped me. Because yeah, like I truly believe in my ability. I do feel like my channel has like some of the best content out there. In like authentic travel vlogging. I feel like I'm original. I do stuff that nobody else does. You get something that nobody else gets. But yeah, it's not... the YouTube algorithm isn't agreeing, So, yeah, I can only just keep trying. And yeah, it's really important for me to keep doing things that I believe in and to continue to like make unique content. Like I don't want to stoop too much to low, cheap shots. I do sometimes do kind of like videos that are not that special or original just because, I have to keep pumping out videos. But yeah, I'm trying to keep up like the original good content because that's what I believe in. And I think like the people are here. That's why we have an interesting crowd here, because we have people who really like, they like the depth and the originality, and they don't want to just see the same old stuff, So I really appreciate people who are there for that. Villaire sent me another contribution, so I have to say thank you for that as well. I don't know why it's not allowing me to heart these donations, but yeah, your donations really help. I really appreciate it. I really do. So yeah, we are waiting for your good content in Israel. Show bad, ugly stuff of Israel. Show good, bad, ugly stuff of Israel. Yeah. You should stick to what you believe in. We care about you. Thank you, Anna. So yeah, Alec is famous in all 5 continents. Nah, I'm not famous, but I have a following. So yeah, it's good. So yeah, really love you guys. I've seen some of the same old faces here, so thank you. Those who donated, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, more content to come. So stay tuned. And hopefully I'll get to do a few more live streams as well. So thank you all. Somalia is the dangerous place according to the poll, so I don't think we're going to go there anytime soon. But yeah, there'll be some other destinations that are interesting. So thank you. Thank you guys, and I'm going to sign off. We'll see you next time and more videos soon. Bye-bye. Thank you.